OK. Bon, on est à Corona. On est le 28 juillet 2013. Il est présentement 9h. Je suis avec Monsieur Chuck Wade qui semble avoir beaucoup d'informations sur pas seulement qu'un des crashs de Roswell, mais présentement, je vois 7 crashs répartis là, sur une grande partie du territoire du Nouveau-Mexique. J'avais déjà entendu parler là, d'autres crashs, mais les informations étaient assez fragmentaires. Puis ici, Chuck Wade va nous parler là, en large là, de toutes les informations qu'il y a sur ces 7 crashs-là. Puis, donc, je vais lui donner la parole. Bien sûr, ça va être en anglais. Puis après ça, ben, ça va être traduit. Donc, Chuck Wade.
Thank you. It's a very pleasure to be here with you folks today. I was born here in the little town of Corona, New Mexico, in 1939. So I was 7 years old in 1947 when the UFO crashed about 30 miles southeast of town. And my dad came to Corona in the year 1912. New Mexico became a state in 1912. Okay. And he was born and raised in Texas in February the 2nd, 1902, 20202. And he came to New Mexico in a covered wagon, and they homesteaded about 20 miles east of east of Corona here.
Okay.
And then he bought the bar right after probation, and the bar is just within a block here. And he owned the bar for 42 years. So Dad knew everything.
Oh, yeah.
Dad didn't say nothing.
Okay, that's why you know so much.
No, he didn't say nothing. He never talked. What I will tell you is the only thing he ever told about it.
So he knew much more.
He knew everything. Because drunks talk.
Yeah.
But Dad just had a policy. He wouldn't talk about nobody. Now, my dad passed away in 1978. And the book, The Roswell Incident, came out in 1980. If my dad had read that book, he could have filled in many, many blanks. Totally inaccurate. I'll say it. It's not right. But this was the beginning, and he had to have a theory. But his theory is wrong.
Okay.
But he won't change it. There was 2 crashes, but not on the same day. So his theory was that 2 of them ran together. One of them crashed by Corona, and the other one went over here to the plains of San Augustin. I've been to the plains of San Augustin since 2004. I've been there like 9 times, and we've dug up and retrieved artifacts from that craft. 3 times I was there on the plains of San Augustin with a Mr. Gerald Anderson. And Gerald Anderson was a 5-year-old boy in 1947, and Gerald Anderson was a witness to this downed UFO. He saw it. And the picture that is here that I'll give y'all to show. Okay. Now this is an artist's depiction of what that area looked like according to Gerald Anderson. So this isn't just an artist's thoughts. This is from Gerald Anderson. It has a craft. It had a crack in it. There were 4 aliens under it. One of them was totally alive. One of them was injured, and 2 dead. And then and then there was several people there, and this is the Anderson family. Gerald, his cousin, about the same age. His older brother was there, home from the military, so he's about 18, 19. His dad and his dad's brother. They were all there. They came over from Albuquerque. And then also, there were a group of archaeologists working in a place called Bat Cave, B-A-T-C-A-V-E. And Bat Cave is approximately 10 miles to the east of this crash site. And these archaeologists saw what they thought was a meteor come in about 11 o'clock at night on the night between the 1st and the 2nd of July, 1947. It crashed basically this 1st of July, 1947.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they found it before noon on the 2nd of July. My question right off the bat is, how could the military, you can see from this depiction here, there's a flatbed truck, a crane, a bulldozer, and lots of troops.
So they knew.
They knew.
They knew because...
so they knew that they was going to shoot this down.
Yeah.
So they were prepared to pick it up. But we don't even know where they came from. They weren't from this area whatsoever. But I'm going to predict, as a prediction, that they came from the base that was Edwards Air Force Base, California. But I've heard that a craft arrived there and is only there for a couple of days, and then it went someplace.
California?
Yeah, California. But I don't know where it went. And I don't know where any of these went. And that's one of my goals, is to find out what happened to these guys. The planes of San Augustin happened. It actually crashed on the 1st of July, 1947. It was found on the 2nd of July, 1947. But that isn't the first craft. Let's go back to the beginning of the whole what happened. And I think the beginning of this whole thing started at a place called San Antonio, New Mexico. And San Antonio is very close to Trinity site where they first dropped the atomic bomb. And what happened, the atomic bomb was first tested on July the 16th, 1945. July 16th. Whenever they put in Trinity, there's a great big place called Oscuro Peak, south of it. They had visual, but they also had one of the very first radar systems up there. They had a big radar system.
There on that peak.
On Oscuro Peak. So about a month later, in August 1945, there was a UFO that was looking around Trinity site there, and what I think happened is that UFO got tangled up with the beam from that radar and crashed. What that did, it told the United States government that the UFOs could be brought down by radar. So what happened is they told and made 3 very high-powered radar. The government did. 2 of them were stationary. 1 of them was mobile. And I'm going to say, a lot of what I'm saying is prediction, because I don't know. There's no way to know. They knew that they could bring it down. So they took the mobile unit they were making at White Sands Missile Range, and they took it up into the plains of San Augustin. And the plains of San Augustin is an old lake bed. It's about 500 square miles, and there's big, big mountains around it. And that's about 12 to 1,400 square miles. That's bigger than the state of Rhode Island. And I think that the government knew that there was a UFO was inside of that often. They'd go out, but they had radars at White Sands and at Kirtland Air Force Base. So they knew there was one there. So whenever the president said, bring one down, so they took that mobile unit, radar unit from where they built inside of there, and they shot that craft down. And it came down about 11 o'clock at night on the 1st of July, 1947. Okay, and why I can say that is that the archaeologist that was working there at Bat Cave, on the 1st of July, the next morning whenever they woke up, the sun was shining on all that aluminum over there, just thousands upon thousands of pieces of aluminum foil. So it was shining, so they walked across. They wanted to know what in the world it was. And then the Anderson family from Albuquerque were there. Gerald Anderson said that he looked over there a lot, and he actually touched one of the aliens. It's 5-year-old. He thought it was a dog until he touched it. But they was looking around, and there was just a whole lot of, turns out to be fiber optics cables hanging out of it. But he thought it was a horse's tail. Oh. And he thought, how did they get a horse in that thing? But that's phenomenally important, because this craft was roughly 32 foot in diameter, not badly hurt. These things are so complicated, it's just unreal. And why I can say that these metals are extremely complicated, I have metal from this craft. Actually? Physically, here on this table.
Yeah? Can I see it? What, s'il vous plaît?
Yeah. This right, let's start with the
sorry.
The other one, please. Now, this right here we found in April of last year. That is I will absolutely guarantee you that came from UFO, because I was there.
So I'll take a picture of that right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's... And this one right here, Gerald Anderson, the guy that was there in 1947, he was running the metal detector and never got a really hot spot. So Nancy and I were on our knees. We had a trained biologist or botanist, and she was digging it, and then we had a professional photographer filming whenever this came out of the ground. It's a lot bigger. I've got another piece. I mean, it comes out here, but they broke it just yesterday. Yeah, it's right here. It broke off.
So those artifacts are coming from the
San Augustin. And whenever you take that picture, that one, and then the next one, take it where you can see that thing is rounded. See, it's got a radius. See, it's got a radius there.
So it's probably part of the frame.
Yeah, it's part of the frame.
Yeah.
But then whenever you look at it like this right here, it's also rounded. That thing has two radiuses on it.
Oh, that's light, huh?
What?
That's light?
Yes, yeah, this piece here is most likely the inside of the outside shell. Yeah. The outside is about an eighth of an inch thick. But that thing there, I think it's part of the propulsion system. Because it's got 6-sided holes. This one got really smushed in the crash. But it also has a little cap on each one of those holes. They just didn't smear it across. It's actually a piece in every one of those holes, top and bottom, that has wires in it. There's 5 lines of wires in each one of those little holes. And it's absolutely beautiful under magnification.
So you found that 2011?
Yeah.
And what's the 5 December 2012?
That was maybe the day you cut those pieces.
Yeah, it's the day we cut.
Okay.
See, yeah.
For analysis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, every time we cut it, we put the date that we cut it.
Okay.
And then it's in our computer.
So where to send it? For analysis?
Lots of places.
Laboratories?
Yeah.
And did you have any...
We do.
So
yeah, and I'm going to say extremely complicated. Every one of them is extremely complicated with many, many elements.
There's elements in there?
Many.
Okay.
But every one of them is from we have them here. But the matrix of this stuff is mainly aluminum. But here's the key to of whether it's terrestrial or not. This is the isotopes here on Earth. And we found 3 elements, antimony, copper, and nickel. And let's just go down here on the very bottom. That's nickel 62. Now, every bit of nickel on this Earth is within 1 or 2% of 3.63. Yeah. Ours is 32.28, almost a factor of 10, not 2%. It's 10 times.
So that's almost the proof that this is extraterrestrial.
Yeah, it has to be, because it didn't come from this Earth.